Hi guys, we've been working really hard over the last few weeks on our advanced traction control system, and now it's time to show you some of the new features we've added. First and most importantly, you can now find the TC slip percentage graph in our data logger, along with a separate TC state indicator light, so you can clearly see the slip progression and exactly when traction control is active. Alright, let's completely disable TC and check how well slip reacts. As you can see, the slip stays very high for quite a long time, quickly dropping from about 45% down to 0, then back up to around 25%. Now let's start adding ignition timing retard, just a few degrees at low slip values, gradually increasing up to 20 degrees at maximum slip. This helps stabilize small slip variations very smoothly. We can also adjust both ignition retard and fuel cut intensity per gear, which is super useful. For example, you can have perfect traction in first gear, while keeping second gear much more aggressive. Okay, now you can see the slip is much more stable, mostly staying in lower values. Next, we'll apply cylinder cycling fuel cut, especially for higher slip percentages. Remember, ignition retard is perfect for fine, fast stabilization, while fuel cut is more aggressive for strong traction control. Nice, it's much smoother now, and the slip value drops a lot faster. Let's now test the difference between allowed slip values. Allowed slip is already computed dynamically based on multiple factors. At high speeds it targets around 2%, so here we're mainly defining the percentage for low initial speeds. The decay rate defines how smoothly ignition retard drops back, which helps you fine-tune how smooth your slip, RPM, and ignition timing graphs look when TC is active. Let's try one more thing on the drag strip. We can reduce traction control intensity in first gear, because it was dropping slip all the way to 0%. Setting it around 5% keeps more engine power available and maintains higher RPM, perfect for launches. Alright, let's switch to another track to test traction not only in straight lines, but also through corners. You can see we've added 3 extra sensors: steering angle, G-force, and your rate sensors. Let's set their effect to 9, which is the minimum influence. The car feels very stable. Now let's switch to a very aggressive setup, effect 0, just for demonstration. And finally, one last important addition, the adaptive adhesion feature. It continuously monitors average slip and slip change in real time to calculate the current tire adhesion level. You can set its intensity from 0, disabled, up to 10, full adaptation. This is especially useful on tracks like this, where the surface changes between asphalt and concrete blocks, which are much more slippery. All these and more new features will be available in our new alpha version, exclusively on Patreon. Thanks for watching.